To Hi, how are you? My name is Sara Frankie. I'm here on behalf of my daughter. Me and my daughter Megan De La Cruz are here on behalf of our daughter, my daughter and her sister Sadie De La Cruz. This is her. She passed away last year, September 4th, so it's gonna be a year this Sunday. That morning she called me. I was in New York on a business trip, and she had stated to me that she wasn't feeling good, that her stomach was inflated and that she had diarrhea. And I said, did you eat anything? And she said, no, I'm okay. I don't know. I said, maybe you have food poisoning. I said, if anything, you go to the emergency room. My daughter, Sadie, she worked in the hospital for 8 years. And she was in contact with the director of emergency and a practitioner. And when she finally got to the emergency room, she got there and they had her waiting for an hour. Mind you, she couldn't breathe and she was purple. And I have pictures because she took pictures of her body, how it was, how she was, and she left all the evidence. And they took her in. They waited an hour to get her from triage to the room. Once she was in the room, they didn't do anything stat. They took forever they didn't do anything at all. All her records came, they only did a chest x-ray, and the doctor told us, well, she passed, and I'm gonna write down that she had COVID, but you have to do an autopsy to find out what was wrong with her. To find out, I had 2 autopsies done to find out that my daughter died because she had a fallopian tube that was twisted and it became necrotic and she became septic. She was 28, full of life. She traveled. She wanted to become a dentist. She was studying, and they just took her. She kept on running out of the room and saying, help me, what are you guys doing? Why you guys are there? And I know this because she worked there and her constituents told me what was going on with her. And nobody helped her. They put oxygen. They didn't even get to put oxygen. They found her on the floor, she threw up blood. She died. They didn't even have her hooked up. And I knew there was something wrong with her. I kept on telling the doctor prior to this, my daughter's sleeping a lot. He was like, no, if you don't want. I said, I'm tired of moving her from doctor to doctor. There's something wrong. And she was 28. So he was like, I don't want to talk to you. And my daughter's she was a very mild, beautiful soul. She was very quiet. And he didn't do anything. No one, whether it was her doctor, whether it was the hospital, no one cared. They figured nothing's going to happen to them. They're not responsible. They don't care. And they let her die. And she was purple. I mean, I don't get it. What's the emergency room for? Just to leave a patient there? Not to touch, not to analyze, not to figure out what's wrong with her? They just left her there by herself to die by herself. So that's my daughter's story, Sadie. She was an amazing human being. Almost 550 people went to her funeral. She made a very impactful. The doctors that she worked at, because she worked in CDU, in ORMC, in South Lake Hospital, they threw up. Till this day, they see me and they're like, she was so loving. She was wonderful. She left such a big impact in their lives, but yet no one bothered helping her and saving her life. So please, let's make it. I talk about this statute constantly. I make sure that people, even when I'm walking in a store and Home Goods yesterday, I let people know what this state has done for us. They literally gave our life away. they gave all our lives away. So please, let's continue fighting this fight, because I was not aware of this until now. And I thank you. Megan.